And we're going to go live in 3, 2, 1.
From the jungle they rumble to be sure that their city won't crumble. They may not be the best, but this adventure will put their mettle to the test. Savage stampedes are rolling thunder. They're gonna put the putrid under. While they're laying the force of nature. Watch out for the Power Rangers. Let's go. These rangers are wild, they battle with style. Let's fight. A stampede's coming, the vicious and cunning. This misfit team has a head of steam, but they're the ones we count on. Let's win. The Savage Stampede's making history.
Hello and welcome to Power Rangers Savage Stampede. Sorry we're late tonight, folks. Had some things pop up that push us back an hour. So we're gonna skip without any further ado. We're gonna jump right into it. When last we left our Rangers, they've been on a road trip to Angel Grove. They've made a pit stop over in one of our very own Rangers' hometown. We left them just outside the hospital. As you all walk in, the smell of ammonia and sick people is everywhere. Just like every other hospital in this country. You walk through the door, and there's a receptionist. This is not a particularly large hospital. Just 3 floors, probably 135 rooms total. Not huge by any means. But kind of comes from having multiple hospitals inside the town. Natasha, how are you feeling since this is your first time back in several years?
I think when she left 4 years ago, she never expected to come back unless they told her that she was awake. So it's a weird feeling. It's that feeling of, it should feel like home, but you never wanted to go back home.
As each of you kind of follows in behind her, Natasha, describe your mannerisms right now. How you're acting and kind of the air you're giving off. And I would like each of you other Rangers to give me an alertness check to see how much you notice.
Can I roll that with Edge based on similar background with... Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
I think for the first time, she's making herself smaller. Like, she's trying to take up less space.
Can I use investigation, or would it be more insight?
This would be more insight.
Okay.
Do I also get an edge for past knowledge?
That's with an Edge. That's terrible.
Not great, Derek. Not great.
I don't know.
Oh, your 2 rolls are only 1 apart.
I know.
Do we have a difficulty of what we're aiming for, or just leave it at 10?
I would say this would probably be against her cleverness.
I think
That's
right
the social one? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hold on, let me look at my cleverness. It is...
I think you have a 13, don't you?
I've raised my social. So I think it's like a 15 now.
Damn.
Okay.
It's a 14. It's only a 14.
Okay.
So,
Yep.
based on those rolls, it looks like Gabe, you're the one noticing it. You're noticing that discomfort that you're seeing. It's a blatant discomfort, and the others are picking up on some of it. Not you, Teddy. You're a little distracted by the fact that it really, really stinks in here.
Yeah,
But I would say that with it being a 14, I'd say that Dez, Derek, and Asher are picking up that something is off with Natasha, but not getting a clue in as to what. But Gabe, you're like, this is you're kind of picking up. You're picking up on the mannerisms, the blatant discomfort that's kind of coming off at this point, and maybe even a tinge of regret.
Yeah, I think Gabe very quickly slinks away and very quickly comes back with 2 cups of horrible hospital coffee loaded with obscene amounts of sugar and hands one over to Natasha.
Thanks.
Welcome. Hey, least I could do. This isn't easy for you, is it?
No.
Are you cool with everyone being here? I mean, I get this is probably really difficult for you, but if us being here helps, then you can rely on us. We're your friends.
Yeah, I trust you guys.
Okay. I mean, I always got your back, no matter what. I mean, I'm not great at the heavy stuff, but if I can make it easier for you, even if it's giving you a styrofoam cup of really bad coffee,
Okay.
I'll do it.
Thank you. I just want to see my sister.
Totally. If I was in your position, I probably would really want to see her too.
As you approach the front desk, the gentleman behind the counter, the receptionist, he looks up at you, kind of gives you an up and down, and goes, and Natasha, you recognize him almost immediately. This is one of the individuals that was really good friends with the individual that you damn near murdered. He looks up at you, and you can see the fear on this man's face. And you have not seen him since that day. And he goes, what are you doing back?
I have business in Angel Grove, and I'm here to see my sister.
Room 235.
Visiting hours. Thank you. She just starts walking.
I think Gabe is following quite closely, but not saying anything at this time, for once.
What are the rest of the crew doing?
Dez.
Eric is definitely.
Yeah, go ahead before Derek's doing it. No, you go ahead because my thing is going to depend on what you say.
So, because he can definitely tell something's wrong and it's a hospital setting, he's kind of inferring all these different things, and he's definitely going to follow her. Probably not as close as Gabe is, though, but he's definitely going to keep following her to support her until she tells him to leave.
Asher, what are you doing?
I mean, Asher's kind of following. He can, like you said, he kind of senses that something's up, not as much as Gabe did. And with the interaction between the two, he just kind of gives a a quick curious glance at the receptionist before following behind Natasha and everybody else.
Teddy, how are you? How are you handling being in the hospital at all?
So Teddy right now, he's just trying to keep it together, not trying to like overreact, cause basically a scene because the smell right now is kind of killing him.
I would imagine that with his species and having such a large nose, it would probably be super heightened.
Smells
He
like
is-
old people and hopelessness.
Yeah, Teddy is kind of on the verge of vomiting from the pure smell, but he is close to Natasha and he is damn near keeping himself together.
Okay. And finally, what are you doing, Des?
So Des missed like most of. He saw that Natasha's uncomfortable, but he picked up on the fact that Derek almost like had a sixth, like that Derek's dealing with something too in this moment. So he's stepping up next to Derek. Been in a lot of hospitals lately.
Not lately. Spent a lot of time in them growing up. My sister.
What's up with her?
She started going deaf when she was 5. And it took the doctors a while to figure it out. So she would run into things. She couldn't communicate and she would get anxious and cause a scene. She couldn't hear out in the streets. She couldn't hear cars, anything like that. Bikes. So there was just minor scrapes. And while they were trying to figure it out, it kept getting worse until finally she can't hear at all.
Is she in one now?
What was it? What'd you say?
Is she in a hospital now?
No, she's she's with her foster parents. Deaf family, actually. That's actually why I learned sign language.
It's awesome, man. You were separated at some point?
Yeah. Right around the end of middle school, early high school. She got adopted and they couldn't afford to take me. And with her special needs, they went ahead and separated us.
As you approach the room, Natasha, you start to have one of those moments of all of the regret and everything is starting to kind of come back, right? I imagine that each footstep feels heavier than the next. As you place your hand on that door and open it, your mother is sitting on the side of the bed, on the far side of the bed, and your sister, who looks exactly like you, is laying there unconscious. Your mother looks up at you and she gives you a soft smile, sadness in her eyes as she says, "It's good to have you home, Tosh."
Hey, Mom. These are my friends, co-workers at the Wildlife Reserve. You know Teddy.
How are you doing, Teddy?
That's
Good. How are you?
She looks down at her daughter and she goes, "Today's a hard day."
that's Des, Derek, Asher, Gabe.
Ma'am.
Pleasure to meet you, ma'am.
This is my mother, Angela, the best lawyer this side of California.
Did you have anything to do with Natasha's case?
Yep.
Derek kind of jabs at Dez's back a little bit. Kind of like, why are you even bringing this up right now?
He goes, "Thank you all for coming." And she grabs her sister's hand, and I know that she'd be happy to have visitors. She hasn't had many in a number of years.
How's Naomi then?
She goes, "Pull up a seat. There's chairs all around the room here."
Quick question. Are there any flowers in the room?
There are not.
Okay.
I'm gonna go grab coffee. Anybody want anything?
Here,
I'm-
Des, real quick. Do you mind if I just come with you to grab coffee? Sorry, I don't really want any. Kind of a tea drinker, but
Yeah. Can I get anybody else anything?
Coffee's fine.
I'm good. I'm good.
I'll take one. Thank you, Des.
Yeah.
Quick question. Do you think Gabe would have brought a guitar with him because they're going on a road trip?
Does
High or
Gabe
low?
canonically play guitar?
Gabe canonically has
Sure.
has a few dots of performance, so we'll figure that
Yeah.
out.
It wouldn't be out of the question.
Hi.
Okay, I guess he did.
She has it with her. She didn't ask. She just has it.
Yeah,
with
she's
her.
like, she just took my guitar case. Okay.
Gabe, no, he just didn't say shit. He's like, "Bitch, that's mine."
Like, when,
He's like,
when Natasha takes your
okay.
stuff, you let her.
Yeah, I think like as this moment is happening, Des and Teddy kind of exit the room.
All right. Before that movement happens, we'll meander over to you two. You two walk down the hall, kind of side by side.
real quick, as soon as they step out of the room and the door closes, Teddy's like, I need to find the gift shop. Do you mind if I meet you over where all the stuff is?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
The nurse
Teddy's
kind of
gonna find-
a nurse walks by. "I couldn't help but overhear. You want coffee? Go to the gift shop. Don't get the regular coffee. The good coffee's in the gift shop. Trust me."
Well,
Wait
I guess
a
we're going together.
Hold up. So is Teddy still all jacked up on energy drinks? 'Cause
Oh
the
yes.
session was
Oh my
not
God.
Oh no,
It
that
was
did
the-
happen.
It was the very end of last session.
Yeah, he took a drink like right before you guys came in.
It's like, man. I tried to have him do it at the beginning of the road trip, but someone stopped me.
Good reason.
And Teddy's kind of like this.
Okay.
Which is
Come
funny
on,
because
Des.
Teddy's a big
Teddy
dude.
is power walking. Teddy is power walking through the halls.
Des is like barely keeping up.
Come on, Des.
Oh, okay, Teddy, like you can slow down. Dude, what are you, a moose? You're moving so fast, man.
Listen, I got energy and I got energy to burn. Cause if I get into that room, I need to be able to sit still.
Fair. So probably no coffee for you.
Nope. just keeps going. Doesn't even stop to see if Dez is keeping up. Just keeps going.
As you kind of end up leaving Dez behind. Dez, you kind of come in like a solid 45 seconds after after he's already like made 3 laps around the gift shop at this point, because it's not a big gift shop by any means. But it does have a barista there, and it's got some stuff, and it's got a bunch of Stone Canyon memorabilia.
He, I think Asher asked for coffee. Black or what? He texts him while he's at the counter.
Light sugar and cream.
Black's fun.
Okay. Yeah, he orders the coffee, pulls out his wallet. For a split second, realizes he's just short. As he puts what he has and offers a couple muffins out of the duffel bag as like a barter for the rest.
Hey, dude.
Give me a persuasion.
It's just so
What?
Could you give me a
should just-
description of? Could you give me a description of the barista?
Yeah, just flirt with him.
Yeah, that's
She's-
what I was
she's,
about to say.
She's a very early 20s. She's got blue hair, nose ring.
Okay.
Very, very thin, very fairy-like features almost.
Very, very typecasted.
Very, very much so. Like if you walked into any Starbucks in California, you've probably seen her.
Okay. Okay.
her name is Blue Jay.
Should I? Let me ask you. Should I give you what I'm going to say first and then roll, or roll and then we determine what is said?
Let's go option A. I want to
That'd
hear
be a
this
lot
nonsense.
funnier.
I want to hear this
That'd be
nonsense.
hilarious. So much funnier than option B.
Okay.
Yeah, no, be smooth, and then we'll decide if it works.
All right. So, so Des walks up. He looks down at his wallet for taking a glance at her hair and being like, "Wow, you really." I didn't think anyone could pull off that shade of blue, but man, you're making it work.
I am physically groaning for every woman ever.
Bruh.
As someone who had blue hair recently, I'm groaning.
Give me a
persuasion.
persuasion roll with a downshift.
Give this man a snag. That was lame.
Deserved.
All right.
Oh my
The-
god.
The party has spoken. The party has spoken. You are rolling with a snag.
Wow.
Oh no.
Oh my
Your own
god.
brother could decide with you on this.
He basically
Wow.
walked up to her and was like, "Hey, you like the Blue Man Group?"
Hey, I like your blue hair. You really make it work, unlike other women.
Yep.
Like,
Everyone else who
okay.
does that is ugly.
That was
But you're
genuine.
not.
I was just like,
Hey,
ew.
You know those other whores? You're not like them.
Reasons unknown, Asher in the room suddenly gets like this weird cringe
So-
feeling, like
Yeah, there's a
Something-
tingling in Derek's
Nope,
neck
you're just
somewhere.
rolling with a snag, not a downshift, just a snag.
all right.
Natasha's dried up for some reason.
What do you set
Des
difficulty
sense.
at here?
Set it at 10. I'll tell you if it succeeds or not.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Ross is a
Asher's-
quick success somehow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually appropriate for what you said, though. She kind of looks at you and she goes, "Thanks. 27. You were the 27th asshole to try that exact fucking pickup line. Get a new one.
Eat him up.
Listen,
him
I'm
up,
sorry.
eat him.
I get very nervous when I talk to beautiful women, and
Oh, that's why.
like,
Put down the shovel. Put down the shovel.
I don't know
Boy,
where
no one to
start.
walk away.
And
Give me another persuasion roll.
actually, let me finish before you give me, because I'm gonna try and save this. I've just been struggling with a lot lately, and I don't know if you just remind me of somebody who's a good listener.
Alright.
Has Des ever
Roll.
talked to a woman before?
Roll
Listen,
persuasion.
I-
Roll
no,
persuasion.
Like
Roll persuasion again. Normal.
Okay.
That was not the most awkward thing you've said.
You know. Now, if that was a man, easy as hell.
Yeah.
Well, for that first attempt, you have nowhere to go but up. So
Yeah,
Hopefully. Oh
Holy
my
shit.
god.
You sunk the hole so bad.
way.
She goes, thanks. That was pretty smooth recovery
You are back at neutral.
for an
my man.
asshole.
Oh,
And she's giving you like a little
my
playful. She's giving you a little.
God.
She's giving you a little playful look on that one. She goes, "I saw you coming in with. I saw you coming in with Tasha Blackwood.
Yeah.
Is she here to visit her sister?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yo. Okay. Listen, I'm sorry. I'm an asshole. Just
walk away.
I love how
I think
even
it's
Teddy's in the corner like.
Yeah. I think that's basically all he can muster is he just grabs the coffees, and leaves like everything he has out of his wallet on the counter.
He just leaves the whole wallet.
Could you tell Tasha Marie says thanks?
Yeah.
Okay, so Teddy is immediately looking for flowers.
There's quite a nice selection of flowers. Yeah.
He's going to buy 2 bouquets.
One to eat. I don't understand.
So one is going to have any sort of dark colors. One is going to have very bright colors.
Okay.
Teddy is going to take half of each, and he's going to try and make a flower crown.
Oh, okay.
My God.
Nice.
I'm
He
crying.
should have.
Trying to think of
He
how
should have done the flirting here.
I'm literally trying to think of how you should roll that.
Is that? Can I make that survival?
I mean, I'll allow it. That could either go performance or survival. I'll allow for survival.
You could also say culture for that. Like,
Yeah,
There's so many things.
that's one of those ones where you're just like, what the hell do you even roll for that shit?
13 different options.
I'm
Make a
going
roll.
to use a story point. I'm going to roll with an edge.
Okay. You make a nice little flower crown. Are you making 1 or 2?
I am making 2.
You you go into the kind of go over, and you actually work through it pretty quickly. You just whip them together. Nice little flower crown. It's got some like dark lilies and some carnations and stuff like that. It's really both of them are really, really pretty. One has a little bit more light, and the other one has a little bit more dark. And you kind of have them together as you make your way. As Des kind of comes out carrying the coffee in a tray.
I let Teddy go first because he's got the dope flower crowns. I just got
No.
for the
Teddy
schmucks.
Teddy immediately sees Des try to wait for him. No. Go ahead. I need them just a little bit distracted for this to go well.
What to go well?
Des, just please go first.
Okay.
As you guys walk back, we'll shift back to what's happening in the room. There's a small awkward silence as you each settle in. Derek, you have moments of you've been in rooms like this too many times.
This exact situation with his parents, actually.
Yeah, you look over and it's not Natasha and her mother that you're seeing. It's your mother and father sitting over your sister.
Or
Both of them
remember
awkwardly trying to sign.
remember too what happened to my parents, so it could be similar situation with either one of them too.
Yeah. And then you see situations. He kind of looks at you're kind of looking over and you're seeing memories, mostly sad ones. Gabe, this situation for you, I imagine, would be unfamiliar and almost foreign.
Very much so.
And
I think he's struggling with what to do here. Usually, he's able to. It usually tense situations. He would diffuse the tension by being goofy or funny or saying something positive. But like, what do you say here that can just be abjectly disrespectful? So I think he's kind of just like trying to like be like physically near Natasha, but like not really, but just like available, not really, inserting himself there.
Asher, this is bringing back memories for you too. That night when you see that girl on that bed, that night is fluttering through your mind. It's not some teenager you're seeing. It's her.
Yeah, no. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
It's her.
Yeah, and with the anniversary of it happening not being that long ago, it's definitely a raw emotion. Asher kind of keeps it together, because he knows, he has to. He's the older one of the group. He has to be that rock, that foundation for the group so that way they know that things will be okay. And he just kind of lightly touches Natasha's shoulder and just kind of gives her that knowing look, like, I feel what you're going through, and I'm here for you if you need me.
Natasha, in this moment, it's clear to you that your teammates are there for you and that they care. How are you reacting to that?
I think it's a smile, a look of reassurance on her face before a bitter reality sets in that the person who would probably have been the better ranger is in a bed, and we don't know if she's going to wake up. And I think she just pulls out the guitar out of its casing, starts playing and singing "Your Sister."
Give me a performance
And
roll.
shit, although I was finale so I could sing before I did.
Oh, if you're gonna sing, if you're actually gonna sing, we'll do the performance
I'll
roll
do it.
after. If you're gonna sing, we'll do the performance roll after.
Yeah, dude. This is ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Nah, nah. It ain't warm when she's away. Mm-hmm. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. The people often roam anytime she goes away.
As you're singing, your mother starts to sing with you. The chorus between the two of you and the harmonization comes naturally. It's the first time you've sang with her and since you and your sister were little girls. Tears are welling up in your mother's eyes. Roll your performance. With an edge, please.
Really? I'll spend a story point to reroll that. This is an important moment.
Yeah, you gotta have a good roll.
You deserve it.
Get it, get it, get it, get it.
I'm going to allow an edge and an upshift.
Anyway, then I have to start the whole thing.
Sorry.
Do it, it's worth it.
Skill shift to a D8. There we go.
That's better.
And she just
As-
songs like, gotta keep on keeping on. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
At the end of her performance, Derek's gonna kind of just choke out a little, excuse me, and he's gonna walk out of the room for a moment.
Gabe has tears pretty much freely flowing. He's not like audibly crying, but if you looked at him, you definitely see he's got his head pointed down, and like the tears are flowing. He just sort of like puts a hand on Natasha's shoulder and nods while trying not to audibly sob.
Asher has the stoic face, but the single teardrop just falls down his cheek.
Des, Gabe, you come in on the last note of her performance. Teddy. Des, Teddy. You both come in at the right at the very last note. And as you do so, all 6 of your energies begin to flow from one to the next. Nonri, your mother doesn't seem to notice it, but you 6 certainly do. In this moment, with your feelings connected, the grid reaches out to you. Natasha, you hear a voice. And you hear, You hear Fang. Goes, that was beautiful. Energy, a single spark, pure black energy, leaps from the morpher on your wrist and touches your sister's hand. And a single twitch happens. A light moan as she begins to slowly wake up. The power of your voice and the connection that you six felt in that moment. The grid decided to wake her up. You all feel it, and you can hear it in your minds as your savage Zords all whisper, "We've got to help. Got to do what we can." The energy flowing first from Dez to Teddy to Asher to Derek to Gabe, and finally to Natasha, and then from Natasha into her sister. She stirs lightly, clearly weak from years in a coma. Rangers, how are you feeling in this moment? Des, I want to start with you, because you caught the last verse of the performance. Too afraid to interrupt as you kind of walked in.
Yeah, I don't know. Dez is just confused. Like, he walked in and, like, obviously heard the song, knew the situation, but, like, can't necessarily put himself what's going on. Especially as he's holding a tray of coffee.
Yeah. Teddy, the crowns are in each of your hands as that energy begins to link first from Dez to you. You hear the music as you kind of catch the last verse of both Natasha and her mother singing. How are you feeling about that?
Teddy is currently overjoyed with how Natasha is kind of acting right now. Teddy doesn't see this very often. Teddy wishes Natasha did this more. Teddy immediately puts the crowns kind of behind his back and is going to wait for a time to give them to the people he made them for.
As the energy flows from Dez to Teddy and into Asher. Asher, how are you feeling?
A lot of it is awe-inspired. That connection that he felt was also very, just that link that he had always hoped for the team. And even if it was there briefly, he felt that sparking. And he knows, given this kind of situation, that it means so much more. And he's overjoyed. He's trying to stay as stoic as possible. But he's definitely he does get kind of overwhelmed, because there is also part of him in the back of his mind. It's like, this is what he wished had happened that day, but he's so glad for his teammate that this is happening for her. He very quietly kind of turns to the mom and just kind of quietly says, "I'll go get someone," and he'll make his exit to go get a nurse or a staff to let them know that she's up.
Derek, as the energy flows into you, How are you feeling?
So I had left the room. So, do I know that she's woke up, or do I just feel that something's happened?
You left the room right as this, like you were there for most of that performance. The energy
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
you were there long enough for it to basically, because it's kind of crisscrossing through the walls. You're just outside the room.
Good.
You can kind of, it's almost as though you all have a shared vision in this moment where you're seeing the sister wait. You're seeing that motion of the hand, even though it's not right in front of you. It's
So
you
that's
definitely
all I really needed.
you definitely really feel like something really really good just happened.
So Derek definitely goes back into the room when he sees that she's awake now. This is all very visible. You can tell he just goes through just a rainbow of emotions. Like he's full on crying now. You can tell he's happy for Natasha, but there's a lot of unresolved personal stuff going on there too. So you can also feel some some grief that he's still held on to for 16 years. A little bit of anger at the situation. There's definitely just like a whole flood of different emotions that he's not really sure how to handle right now and be respectful to Natasha's family.
And
Would
Gabe,
Asher see this?
yes,
Derek?
Yes, anyone
So
that's remotely attuned to Derek would see what's going on.
I'm gonna kind of bring him with me then. Let's go get somebody.
Gabe, as the energy flows from Derek to you, how are you feeling?
The tears are flowing freely, not just from sympathy for Natasha, but for what the song brought out in him. And then feeling that sort of spike of energy that flowing between us. Still, probably wipes his eyes and like just sort of like stares at Natasha. Gabe has been a performer for more of his life than not, and doesn't think he ever impacted anyone the way that Natasha impacted everyone in the room just now. And then in addition to feeling the joy for Natasha that he's feeling now, I think as like the energy peaks at him and is about to flow through Natasha, he just is not thinking, just pulling her into a hug as tight as he can, and it holds it for like just a second before he lets go and puts his hand on Natasha's back and says, "Be with her. You deserve it, okay? You deserve it."
And Natasha, as the energy flows into you, you feel all of your friends' spectrums flow not just into your back, but through you. You feel the warmth of the light of the entire grid in that singular moment. Every Black Ranger that ever was or ever will be flashes images into your mind. All of them in full suited, looking at you. All of them nodding as that energy flows from you and leaps into your sister, waking her up. You can see she's weak. She's beyond thin. Her cheeks are sunken in. Cripes, I mean, she's been in a coma for 4 years. Of course, she's got some very serious muscle degradation. But as that energy leaps into her, from you to her eyes begin to flicker open. You can see at first that she doesn't register. But when she does, she goes, "Natty, where am I?"
You're in the hospital. We skipped most of our awkward teen years. And Naomi Blackwood, I think you stole my face.
as soon as Natasha's sister starts to like come together, I put the lighter colors on Natasha. I put the darker colors on her sister. And I say, welcome back. We've missed you.
Remind me, Teddy knows Naomi, right?
Natasha met Teddy when she moved to Turtle Cove, so he only knows I don't think she's been back to the city, but her mom has come to visit her, so that's why she knows Teddy.
Okay.
So I don't think Naomi knows Teddy.
I didn't think so either. So she's kind of looking up and she goes, she's having a hard time moving her head because she's not, I mean, if you're in a coma for 4 years, you just don't have that kind of muscle control anymore. She kind of, her head moves over slightly and she looks at you and she goes, thank you, whoever you are.
That's Teddy. I might have collected a brother along the way.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
I'm a little forward sometimes, but I wanted to get you a crown. I got one for your sister because I know you both beautiful people who deserve nice things. So I wanted to make sure that you were there to celebrate.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Thank you. And how are you feeling in this moment, Natasha? As your sister is awakening right before your eyes.
I think there's a lot of fuck. I'm actually Dasani wants to cry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think there's a lot of things. It's a feeling of the biggest mistake I've ever made. The living reminder of the person I was and I turned my sister into. I just got a second chance to right that wrong. There's also my sister's back. And I think there's a tinge of guilt in the back of her eyes because she knows she stole 4 years of her life from her, from what she caused. But for the first time, I think the team really sees less of a ball of anger or somebody who keeps walls up and is very defensive, and more of the person she is when she's with her kids and her office.
It's at this point that a nurse kind of comes in as your mom's breaking down. She's a mess at this point. Her makeup's running because it's just full sobbing. But you can tell immediately these are happy tears. And she just keeps saying, my babies are back. My babies. She's just so happy. She has both of you in this moment, and both of you are okay. A nurse comes in and she kind of flashes through the eyes, and after a brief examination, it's discovered that Naomi can't see out of her right eye, and it's probably just due to a lot of some nerve degradation. But it doesn't seem like the damage will be permanent. It's just hasn't been used in 4 years. And the doctors are coming in now, and at this point you have all kind of been shooed out of the room except for Natasha and Natasha's mother. And as that's happening, the 5 of you are going to have a scene as well. Before we step out, what did you want?
When the two girls and the mom were kind of all together. Is there any way Teddy could have quickly pulled out his phone and taken a picture of that?
Mean infiltration check, because that's about as close as we got for a sleight of hand.
Ooh, I'm good at that.
It's very much a thing of catching her up of like, okay, so I've somehow got out of high school. We're 19 now, by the way. We can drink in Canada.
Oh yeah, you. Nobody even notices.
All right, cool. That's all I needed.
This is very much a picture-worthy moment here. As you're kind of catching your sister up, you're sharing laughs, and you can see a sense of sadness in her eyes that she's missed so much of your life. You and your sister were always very, very close. And your mom is very, very happy in this moment. And as you guys are being caught up by the doctor, and the doctors are telling you, after some examination, that she'll be okay. She does have some slight brain damage, so she'll have short-term memory issues for a little while. They suspect that with use and with a proper diet, she'll fully recover. And again, that's just deterioration. They've barely kind of been just barely keeping her alive with the bare minimum stuff, and she's gonna have a very long and hard road to recovery. But they do suspect that in about a year, she if she tries hard, she could be walking again in 6 months.
Oh, exactly. I'll have just like wheel kicking people's ass in a year tops.
She goes, damn right.
Oh, also we're better people. We're out of our problematic era.
Speak for yourself. I missed mine.
We started rioting. I feel like that's enough for a lifetime.
Yeah, that's the last thing I remember.
I almost had ass to prison. I feel like it was a big thing. She didn't think he was going to wake up.
Knowing you, he probably deserved it.
Oh yeah, like you were also there doing the bad.
I was a saint. Even your mother goes, bullshit!
And an accomplice and an arsonist.
She goes, how about the time you set my bed on fire? How about the time that...
You said Derek F's on fire.
Hey. He wouldn't go out with me, okay?
Oh, bro, he was ugly. It's not worth it.
I know that now.
I mean, do you? For all you know, he had a glow up.
He dated Kendall.
No.
He dated Kendall
No.
after that, and once you go there, you know how I feel about that.
Lydia Kendall.
Fuck Kendall.
Bro, I've missed you. Trust me, I have boy problems of my own. I don't think Gabe is ever gonna figure this shit out.
Gabe in the background. Gabe goes,
Achoo!
I thought they made them leave the room.
no, he's outside at this point, but
Yeah, we are definitely in the waiting room.
but I could just see it. Literally one of those anime moments where it cuts away to Gabe and just
Yep.
I also think he likes Dez. And if he goes to Dez, that's worse than Kendall.
Who's dead?
Wow.
The one in the red who looks kind of homeless.
Oh. I just thought he was a janitor.
He does have, He does have big janitor face.
Wow.
He flirts like a creepy janitor too.
As, as the five, as Natasha, as you and your sister, as you're catching your sister up, as the doctors are poking and prodding her, and you can tell she's kind of getting annoyed with it because it's like she just woke up, she's groggy as shit. We're gonna switch over to the other five. Each of you, all of you, are kind of out in the hallway in kind of like a waiting area. What are you guys doing?
Eric's gonna walk off and try to be alone. Like he is just growing more and more upset as time has gone on.
Can I ask for a perception roll to notice that?
Yes.
Or Lucas, okay.
Derek, you decide if it succeeds.
I
That
do
does
not
not
notice
succeed.
that.
Never mind.
Definitely not on a 5.
Okay. No,
Definitely not
okay.
on
I
a
think
5.
I think Gabe probably doesn't notice because he's just sort of like sitting in the waiting room, kind of just like palming his animal crystal, like and looking at it.
Howard, what are you doing, Asher? What are you?
Oh, I'm also seeing if I noticed that with.
Okay, give me an alertness as well. Are you like trying to hide that you're kind of trying to get away from people, or are you just trying to get away from people?
No, that definitely succeeds. I was just gonna say like an 11 would succeed. He's just trying to like, we literally just like turns and walks.
So Asher's not going to like try to bring him back, but instead he'll kind of walk beside him and kind of basically without saying it kind of indicate to Derek like if you need to talk, we can talk.
Gives
And
him
kind of
the
leaves
old dad
him.
eyes.
Green
the
light
dad- Dad and the oldest son.
Yeah,
So,
there you go.
when this is about to get heavy. So when they hit like a little hallway area with the vending machine, Derek just starts kind of mumbling to himself, "It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair." And then eventually he just snaps, "It's not fair," and he just slams and punches the vending machine.
You see this,
I'm
Asher?
like, where? And he just keeps going. Where were these powers 12 years ago? I was 10 years old. I watched my mom on those machines. Me and my sister used to sit in those chairs and I'd read her The Wizard of Oz
Are there
for
any
4 days. And then
there
she
any
just
seats
didn't
near-
wake up.
What's the question?
were there any like chairs nearby or seats?
There's different little waiting areas, and you guys are in kind of like an alcove type area. You do see some chairs kind of across like literally right across from the vending machines that one of which now has broken glass.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So Asher's going to kind of gently guide Derek to the seat without broken glass and kind of sit him down, and he pauses for a second before he looks at Derek and he says, "It's not fair."
I'm
know
happy
it's
for
not.
Natasha. I really am. That I wish that could happen to everyone in this situation. I was
agree.
10 years old. She was all that was left. Our dad died instantly in the crash, and she was on those machines for 4 days. We were so scared. We had no idea what was gonna happen. And just all this is just, it's too much. Too much right now. Where were these powers then? Where's the grid when I needed it?
I can't answer your question because I don't know myself, and like you, I wish that we had the grid, 6 years ago. I wish we had the grid 14 years ago. You know, we all wish we had the grid much sooner than we do. And like you said, I too, I feel I'm happy for Natasha. And it's not wrong, and I don't ever want you to think that it's wrong to not feel upset because you didn't get the same chance. It's not selfish. And I don't want anybody to ever tell you that it is.
You're right. You're right.
And if you need to sit here as long as you want to,
Yeah.
I'll sit here
Yeah.
with you. If you want me to
just-
leave, I'll do the same.
I just need a minute alone. I'll be okay.
Okay.
And Derek is just going to sit in that chair and cry for a little.
Yeah. And before he leaves, Asher's going to just kind of gently squeeze Derek's shoulder before he lets him have his moment.
This is gonna be a cry session, I think.
Damn. Like my eyes are fucking watering like crazy right now.
Damn. I got really into that role. I got really into that.
Yeah, you did. Dude, that was awesome.
Emotionally traumatized.
I'll break that moment
So,
up. Teddy.
as those two kind of wander off, I look at the group.
The group that's left would be just
Me and Des, I think.
you and
Yep.
you, Gabe, and Des. And Gabe's kind of basically he's got his animal crystal in his hand and he's kind of fiddling with it. And Des, what are you doing?
Apparently somebody just handed me a mop because I look like a janitor. So
And there's some broken
And the
glass.
sniper comes up with some cash. Just with some garbage, like, yeah.
I regret nothing. There's so little to say when you're all like, I'm emotionally traumatized.
What are you kind of looking back and forth from him? What were you doing?
So, I see that everyone's kind of down and kind of in their own head right now. So Teddy kind of stands up and kind of looks at him. What just happened was a great thing.
You're not wrong. No, totally. It was amazing. I mean, I know we've tried to do our best as Rangers, but somehow that feels like the most powerful thing we've ever done.
It is, and it's done a great thing. But why am I now just looking at people who look sad? None of you look happy about all of this, nearly as much as I am.
No, I am. I'm happy for Natasha and for her sister and her mom, but it's confusing. Like, if we could do such amazing things with these powers, then why aren't we doing it for everybody? I mean, I know we can't do it for, like, everybody, but, like, half the time I feel like I barely know what I'm doing, and then something like this happens. I just... And he looks at it, it's like... more, and he's holding his animal crystal now. He's looking at it. It's like they did this for Natasha, for all of us.
I don't think that's true.
What do you
They
mean?
didn't do it. We did it. Us as a team did it. The power they gave to us is what caused that. Our emotion as a team caused that. We were all connected under one thing. We all wanted Natasha to not be sad about her sister. And look at what it caused. You're right, it did cause something good. In fact, it's a miracle by most people's standards. And the part about why aren't we doing this more? What are we doing as Rangers right now? We are doing that. We may not be able to bring people out of comas or back to life or anything like that, but we're stopping people from having to suffer similar fates by stopping the monsters, right?
You're right. You're right. I don't know. Just it's overwhelming. That
Oh, I'm overwhelmed too. I have no idea what else we can do as a team. Where does the line stop with what we can't do when we're all together?
right. You're
But
right.
I'm not gonna think about that. Cause you know what? I have different plans. I wanna do something else.
Do tell.
They're gonna be busy in there for a little bit, right? This place has a cafeteria. There's a gift shop. And as you have now already seen, I do have good hands for building. What do we say to making a nice table celebration for her coming back?
I am so in. Des, you in on this?
Apparently I just got recruited to be to work the late shift, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, they're giving you a
Literally,
paycheck.
some
Get
guy
your
just
ass over
walked.
here.
Literally, the head janitor walks by. Aren't you late? And just tries to hand. It's like trying to hand you a mop.
Okay, Des, when we get back to Turtle Cove, I am taking you shopping, and this time you can't turn it down because now you see why we wanted you to have clothes.
This is where Derek's gonna kind of creep back in, and he's gonna be like, "I'm into."
Awesome.
All right.
Wait.
Well, we got a job then. I'm gonna go buy all the materials. You guys think about what you want to make, and I'll be back. And Teddy's gonna run back off to the gift shop.
Before he goes, Teddy, you can't build a table without. You're gonna need to go to a Bass Pro Shop, and I think she's standing by the door. Walk by the door. They need to.
I'm
do
not
tests,
building a table. There are tables in the cafeteria, and Teddy still keeps going.
Lord.
Uh,
They need to. She's needs rest. 1 and 2. They need to draw blood to see what medication she might need.
well, it was for you too, so you know. Now the surprise is spoiled, I guess. Oops.
Teddy is long gone.
Yeah.
Has not
After
stopped.
trying desperately to catch up to him.
I can literally just see
shouldn't
it.
have
It's
given
Teddy,
him
Asher, and Derek, and Derek and Asher are just like, Jesus Christ, what the hell?
Yep,
We
Teddy's
shouldn't have
still
given
on
him
the
5
energy
hour
drink,
energy.
still power walking.
Yeah, no,
This
he is.
is-
Meanwhile, Des
he
is like,
cut-
I don't work here.
He is cut.
How-
Yeah. Teddy is cut off from anything with more caffeine than a sweet tea.
Yeah, we're coming. Let's go to the gift shop before he gives that girl a heart attack.
Got you.
Des, come on. Put down the mop bucket. You do not work here.
Unless they're giving you a paycheck, I don't want to see that mop in your hand again, Des.
Yeah, even if they are giving you a paycheck, you're above this. Get over here.
At least work for $12 an hour.
Do not accept less than
Dez
what
just
you are
walks
worth.
up.
You were worth at least 13 with benefits.
including dental.
I mean,
So
dental's
for all the
dental's
people,
expensive.
for all the people who were chasing Teddy, Teddy has in his hand basically as many flowers as he could possibly afford. He has a couple of stuffed animals, and he asked the barista basically for cups that he is going to write and design onto.
Okay.
Dear Lord.
He's going all out, man.
Elaborate.
Natasha
Eddie,
just buys a telephone.
This is like a whole parade worth of stuff.
Is
Asher's just apologized profusely to the barista.
the barista's just like,
Sorry.
Natasha, it sounded like you went with them.
Yeah, she just like buys a telephone and is like, sorry about him. He's sweet, I swear.
So the barista is actually one of the very rare people that you and your sister stuck up for. She kind of palled around with you guys, kind of helped you guys get into trouble a lot. She was one of your gang. And as soon as she sees you, she goes, she just immediately starts waving, kind of runs around and immediately just kind of comes out and gives you a hug.
Like, I
Girl,
sweep her up and hug her.
girl,
If it isn't my favorite blue target.
she goes, girl, you know it's been too long.
You know, when they tell you not to come back to a town, you gotta listen.
True. But
I was out of prison. I'm too cute for federal.
yeah. Well, you know the statute of limitations on that's up, right?
Yeah, that's why I came back.
You don't think I would have checked that?
She goes,
Probably the
But-
first thing
she
she
goes,
checked.
you look really happy. Did something good happen?
She woke up.
No. And
Yeah.
just this biggest, sweetest smile. And she just starts crying. She goes, God, I've missed you too.
Where are the other three? We need to get all six of us back together.
I heard Kayla's over in Reefside. Sarah's in Angel Grove, and Kiana I think she's moving to Chicago next week. She got offered a big job at a big interior design firm.
Okay. At least most of my girls are doing well.
I'm doing pretty good too. This is just a second gig. I'm trying to save up for my wedding.
Who are you marrying?
Oh, poor Des.
She goes, you remember Levi, the cute guy that was in the grade younger than us?
Yeah, we tied his older brother to the flag post, right?
Yep. Multiple times.
I mean, he shouldn't have been so tieable.
True. But yeah, I'm marrying Levi. He and I started dating pretty much right after you moved away, and we've been together ever since. He popped the question 2 weeks ago.
Not you being a cougar.
He's a year younger than me. Knock it off.
Robbing the cradle. Robbing the cradle.
You never change. And that's a good thing. I'm so happy for you. And she gives you another hug. She goes, I'll be sure to stop by and come see you guys.
You know, we weren't the best people when we were in high school.
Oh no, we were
But you
terrible.
gotta admit. Terrible people. But you gotta admit, it's kind of impressive A group of 6 girls terrorized a town. That's a story for a history book.
I think Kayla's writing a book on us, actually.
You know, a couple revisions, we could definitely swing this as like a story of rebellious young women.
That's what we were. And she goes like this. We weren't. She goes, that's what we were. We just weren't terrible people. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Arsa would never. I gotta go back with my friends.
Goes,
Don't lose touch.
of course not. Here's my new number. And she
Here's mine.
you guys literally like scan. You basically she has like a QR code on her phone, and she holds it out, and you scan it, and her contact information pops up, and you send her a text message.
And I think as we walk away, if we think about this as a cinematic thing, you see Natasha's wallpaper on her phone, and it's a picture of her sister and their 4 friends with leather jackets with rat patches on.
Yeah. As you kind of go back, as you start to walk away, guys, how's your project coming along?
Okay, so Teddy for the next 20 minutes is going to try and make kind of a half flower arch, and then here I've posted pictures in Discord of what he is trying to make. He is making a half arch to try and put in front of her door, and then he is also making basically like flower type streamers to
Oh my.
hang about her room.
I'm gonna have to. So this is a lot more elaborate than a crown.
Yes, it is.
So I'm gonna say
So
this
don't
is.
worry.
I'm gonna say this is a performance roll.
Okay.
Can people assist? I forget how that works.
Yes. Remember, for every assist, you get an upshift.
Okay.
Assist.
I lend you my. I
I
lend
think
you my.
everybody's helping out.
Yes.
in
I
some
lend you my
way.
strength.
I'm making
So
sure that
how
he
many is that?
doesn't go
I
too
get
crazy.
4.
I think
four
you get a
upshifts?
total of 4 upshifts total. Yeah.
Okay. I'm also using a story point for Edge. These are all going to come out great.
Oh yeah.
So it looks great. It's not. You end up using kind of like the. You basically end up using the cups as kind of like a backing for stability, and it actually ends up looking really nice. You post it there, and Natasha, you're standing in the center, and your sister's been moved into a chair, and you take a picture, and the camera snaps away. You stay for a couple of days, catching up with your sister. You still got another day or so before you need to hit Angel Grove, and it's only about a 6-hour drive from here. So you stay the remainder of the couple of days. Just the 5 of you kind of run around town, just seeing some of the sights. Natasha, you spend it with your sister. Before finally...
Do I
Go ahead.
run into him while I'm in town?
Give me a...
High or low? High or low?
No. Give me an alertness check with perception.
Yeah, because some don't feel right. It was like, either I'm going to get confronted or I'm going to get snatched up in a black van. No, roll 20, roll up.
In 3 days. No, I'm kidding.
Shit. Can you roll for me? Roll 20 is reloading forever.
Yeah, I got you.
Thank you. I'm going to be at a snag. I'm going to get snatched up.
You're going to be at a snag.
Yeah.
You don't see him.
Oof.
Okay.
But you do end up hearing just this kind of through your text. You do end up hearing through your texts that he seems to have moved out of town. But she's not sure where. Your text with Kayla, she says she hasn't seen him in like a year and a half, and she heard a rumor that he was moving away. You know how those high school things end up being. There's
Yeah.
right after graduation, basically he was moving, going to a college somewhere.
Yeah.
As you
Hopefully he's doing well.
as you have that moment of goodbye with your mother and your sister, definitely promising to return. Your mom says, now that she's awake, would you be opposed to me having her move to Turtle Cove and coming and opening my practice? Coming and opening my practice up over there.
I was gonna ask. For a long time, I felt guilty about leaving the dojo shut down here. I don't need that building to teach people,
No, you don't.
especially with Daddy.
What did your dad always say about that dojo?
It's never been about the building. It's always been about the person teaching the lesson.
That's right. That's a lesson you should have learned a long time ago. You kind of became hooked on that building and fought for it a little bit too hard there, girlie.
I guess I forgot it wasn't the last thing I had on my dad. I'll see you when you come to Turtle Cove. I have to go on a business trip.
Yeah, I know. You. That's why you said you were coming. So
yeah,
I'm just grateful to see you. We'll see you in about 3 weeks.
See you in 3 weeks.
It'll take me. I'll put the house up through a realtor, and I've been eyeballing houses over there for a while, and I'm pretty sure I can find something pretty quick.
And Granny does have 3 more bedrooms. It's a very big house.
Yeah, I am not living with my mother. Not happening.
I mean, who doesn't love living with their mother-in-law?
Mm-mm. No way. I love that woman. She is sweet as pie, but no way in hell am I living with that woman again.
Listen, it's your husband. It's your late husband's mom. You have to be nice to her.
Oh, honey, I love her. I just don't want to live with her.
That's fair.
She snores, and it echoes throughout the whole house. I never understood how you could sleep through it. I never understood how your dad could sleep through it.
Man, he lived with her all his life. I guess he's used to it.
How do you handle it?
We've come to an understanding recently.
You use earplugs, don't you?
Nah, we've come to an understanding recently.
What's that mean?
I'm carrying on the family legacy.
Cool, I guess. I don't know what that means, but okay. As you kind of end up saying your goodbyes, you're giving your sister a hug with promises that you'll see her in a few weeks.
We got to get you your GED and then enrolled into college classes.
Yeah. Each of you boards the van with the events of the week fresh in your mind as you make your way into Angel Grove. The following morning, you were each convened. Several other teams of rangers standing around you. Zordon and Billy at the front as they begin their speeches. The camera pans to each of you. Looks of determination and excitement. And Natasha, for the first time in a while, hope. As you each smile, the camera lifts away, and the episode closes. Thank you for joining us on Power Rangers Savage Stampede. We are now caught up with the crossover timeline. So if you're just watching this tonight, maybe go catch some crossovers. They're in the crossover playlist here on our channel. When next we see our Rangers, we'll see what happens to them after the crossovers. The repercussions of the events that happened then, and the repercussions of this road trip. Join us next week. Same Ranger time on the same Ranger channel. Signing out. This is GM Renderings.